My biggest breakthrough in manifestation was realizing just how little the 3D itself and the events leading up to the 3D truly mean when you shift your awareness towards your desired outcome and allow that to be where you place your trust. Now, in this video today, I want to tell you a little bit of a story about where things were seemingly as bad as they could get, but somehow, almost overnight, I managed to shift it and go down a better path and get to where I am now. Now, I've manifested my specific person back, as many of you will know if you've been on this channel for any length of time, but this story is actually not about that. Because despite the fact that I am proud of what I've accomplished regarding my specific person, I've actually always found manifesting specific people fairly easy, or at least I've been fairly successful with it. But the thing that has always tripped me up is money. I didn't grow up rich by any stretch of the imagination. My mum had to do quite a lot of bad things in order to just scrape by. I always heard things like money doesn't grow on trees, or sorry, Santa couldn't bring you what you wanted this year, and things like that. So I've always had this complex of money is hard to come by. So even in my adult years, when I'd get a little bit of extra money, something would always come up to take it, like my washing machine broke or something like that. But this story is actually when I went full-time self-employed on YouTube and coaching you guys. Now, I'd been doing YouTube for over a year, I think, at this time, and there was actually a video that I posted about how I manifested a specific job. That job, due to me beginning to shift my stories and shift my awareness, was a lot more paid than anything I had ever experienced by quite some degree. So I felt a lot of security in this job and financially, which obviously was my first mistake because we shouldn't really let the 3D be our crutch, so to speak. But because of this financial abundance that I was having in my mind, my business, my YouTube stuff was just growing more and more and more every single month. And it got to a point where I thought, I can actually do this full time now, and I really wanted to, so I could do more content for you guys, coach more people, offer different services, and so on. But when I decided to quit that job, I didn't realize just how much of a crutch it really was for me. And all of those old beliefs came flooding back in of, well, money doesn't come easily for me. What if I don't get the clients? What if another coach comes along and they're just so much better than me that they take everyone that would want to come to me? All of these ridiculous beliefs that were just based on the fact that I had a poor money mindset back then. But of course, those things began to play out. So just little side note, even I, someone who is quite proficient in this, will have slip-ups. So if you're having a slip-up, really don't think that you are a screw-up or that you can't do this. We all have those bad moments, but it's what you do in them that matters, not the moment themselves. But anyway, I had 2 consecutive months of quite bad financial situation. And I looked at it and I was like, okay, so the reason why this is happening is I was relying on the money from the job to ensure that I felt confident in my business. I was basically in a position where I thought, oh my God, if I don't make those clients, I can't feed my family. I can't do this. I can't do that. Because obviously with a full-time job, the pay is consistent. You know what you're getting, you know when you're getting it, you know what you can do with it. But with your own business, there is that fluctuation because it's all based on who comes to me, essentially. And I let those thoughts get to me. And while I didn't get to a point where I couldn't feed my family, I could always just about pay the bills and everything, it was not a thriving situation. It was very much a surviving situation. But I decided there and then that I'd had enough of not only feeling constant anxiety as to whether I'd be able to pay the bills, but also just not being able to accomplish what I knew I could accomplish. I'd manifested my specific person. I'd manifested a job paying way more than I'd ever experienced. I'd manifest physical changes. I'd manifested all these amazing things. So why, when I was talking about how to do it, was I letting myself fall victim to the very thing I'm advising you guys to essentially stop falling victim to, but in most cases, your specific people? So I sat there with myself and I essentially coached myself in the exact same way that I do with all of you guys that come to me, got to the root cause of my problems, created a plan to follow it, and essentially I decided enough is enough. Any thought I have regarding money, I'm earning the amount that I want. That's when I was going to shift it to. Anytime I had a thought about what if another coach comes about that can, poach the clients, no, I'm the best coach out there. I'm the best option for people. They can see that, they come to me because they can see that, so on and so forth. money comes easily to me, you know, I'm worthy and deserving of money. And I basically just shifted the narrative in my head regarding not only money, but also my position when it came to money, as well as, you know, my reality and such things like that. And lo and behold, after what I think maybe 1 or 2 days of getting back on my affirmations, back on shifting those thoughts, back on regulating my own emotions, instead of letting anxiety take control, taking deep breaths when anxiety came up, out it goes, in, out, and just letting myself regulate. After 2 days, I can't remember if I said it was after 2 days, but after sort of 2 or 3 days of doing this, I woke up one day of a payment of £800 from some individuals that I hadn't spoken to for over 6 months. Nothing from them, complete radio silence. Did a bit of work with them, didn't think I was going to get anything from it because, like I say, radio silence. Not even a message of saying, hey, sorry we haven't spoken, but here's the money that we owe you and yada, yada, yada. Literally just woke up, PayPal, £800, just right there. Overnight, no explanation. Obviously, I knew where it came from, but no, we had an epiphany and realized we didn't pay. None of that. Literally just woke up with it in my account. And from that moment forward, of course, I continued the work that I was doing. But from that moment forward, I ended up making more and more and more and more money. And the best thing about all of this, on top of the fact that it was the 800 payment, is that month. So it was January and February that were the struggle months. March was when I decided to get back in. That was the month that I released the "This is what your specific person feels" video that went, I don't know if you would consider it viral. I don't know if under 100k views is viral, but considering where my channel was at the time, the amount of views that I'd got, I think I got 30,000 views in something like 5 days. So for me at the time, viral. That's when that video went live, with 30,000 new people all saying that they loved the video, it's the best thing that they've ever seen, all validating that I'm the best coach and so on and so forth. My clientele absolutely exploded. And that month was the best month that I had had by, I think, 3 or 4 times with working through this business. That month was 3 or 4 times more income made than any of my previous months before. Now, I do not under any circumstance think that I could have accomplished that had I stayed in that same mindset. I don't think in any circumstance, to any degree would I have ever have accomplished that had I looked deeper into why I wasn't really excelling financially when I had all the capabilities to do so. And therefore I made those changes based on what I discovered. And not only did I get randomly paid a big chunk of money from someone I hadn't spoken to from 6 months, but that month leading up to the video, more clients were coming in. And then after that video goes live, explodes, I end up having a massive clientele all coming in. It was seemingly, obviously the whole story spans over maybe about 2 weeks or so, but the £800 was literally after a couple of days, the video was after a week, and the clients was after like 2 weeks or so. So within 2 weeks, I went from having the worst months that I'd had financially, sitting in dread and anxiety, to my subscribers exploding, the video going viral, my client base exploding. At the time, the membership was on the YouTube, and that was exploding, and everything was going incredibly well. Now, like I said, the 3D leading up to it, I was doing more work. I was posting more videos. I had more time for more clients. I was putting more packages up. I was doing more advertising. But even in spite of all of these things, I was doing more. My mindset was in the gutter. And therefore, despite the fact that you would think that I was doing more, therefore should have got more, I was actually getting less. Because everything that I was doing was being met with resistance and anxiety due to my internal state. So just as a little side note, that shows within itself that action, or more action, isn't the prerequisite for success, but instead what's going on up here. But what did happen is once I changed what was going on up here, I started claiming abundance and so on and so forth. In a couple of days, massive payment. Another week, video goes viral. Another week from that, massive client base. And that month ended up being about 3 or 4 times more than my highest months previously ever. So if that doesn't show you that things really can shift just seemingly overnight, no matter what the 3D was showing me, shifts, everything coming into play, then I don't know what will. And from that moment on, even though I had managed to manifest Katie back and I'd manifested all of these other things, I realized just how much just going, this is what hasn't been serving me, this is what will serve me. And making the conscious effort to only ever engage myself in what will serve me, even through exhaustion, even through my body wanting to go, but a little spiral, a little panic won't hurt us. Let's just consider if we can't afford the bills this month. I thought through all of that and proved to myself that things can change so fast, and even against years of programming. What am I now? 26, which was 2 or so years ago. So I would have been sort of 23, 24, I think 24. So after, based on when I sort of became a bit conscious, let's just say, argument's sake, 18 years worth of programming, I managed to overcome within a few days of telling myself a different story. But this showed me, because like I said, this is my biggest breakthrough. This showed me that no matter how much programming you have, you can still change it. No matter what the 3D has done to get you to the circumstance, you can change it. No matter what this circumstance really is, you can change it. And just as a way to finish off this video and this story, my months maybe weren't necessarily as good as that one, sort of following, but I've had better months than that since, and quite consistently better months than that as well. So this shift in my awareness wasn't just like a one-off. It wasn't just like it was a coincidence that video went viral and therefore you made more money. Because since making those shifts that I did back then, my months have done nothing but grown, and I'm doing exceptionally well. This story is actually available on the membership from a year or so ago, but I thought I'd just tell it again. But I wanted to tell you this story so that you guys could realize that even if you're efficient at this, you can still slip up. At this point in my journey, I had already manifested Katie. I'd already manifested an amazing job. I'd already manifested hitting 1,000 subscribers, 2,000, 3,000, 5,000. I've already manifested amazing things. But I had a slip up because I'm human, and I still managed to come back from it. So if you guys ever have slip ups, don't think it's game over. You literally can come back from it no matter what. So I really hope this video has helped. I hope it's given you motivation. I hope it's given you joy. I hope it's given you a drive to succeed in your own life. I hope the video title, to the individual that gave me the suggestion, I hope it's given you a bit of a giggle. And to everybody else, like and subscribe if you've enjoyed this video. Like and comment if you've just... Like and comment if you've enjoyed this video. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and be sure to click that bell icon. And if you do need any of my help on a one-to-one basis, everything is down below in the description. But thank you so much for watching.